Okay, so hello and welcome to this video where we're going to be ranking SaaS marketing methods for solopreneurs with a very low budget like me and you. So as you can see, I've been pretty successful for SaaS marketing. I've gotten a few videos that went viral, like 300,000 views. But most importantly, I've gathered a fan base that supports me, gives me constructive criticism, and helps me. For example, I've gotten fans that edited videos for me before, which really helped me out a lot. So before we start, the key to marketing SaaS is to understand well your target audience, right? So if you can't understand your target audience, you're never going to be able to get good results. So before you start, make sure you understand where your target audience hangs out and how to hook their attention. So there are four main ways to do marketing, right? Ads, social media, content marketing, and cold outreach. So I've not even added SEO to the list because it's kind of obvious that you should do it at this point, right? It can help you no matter what situation you're in. As long as you have a site, you should do SEO. And I'm also not added affiliates because while it can be a really good way to market your app, you usually can't really do affiliates unless you have like one of these four, right? So if you don't have a social media account, you probably can't do affiliates because you're not really going to be getting people that want to apply for your affiliates program. So first of all, we have ads, right? For business to business, I would not recommend ads to almost anyone, right? So this is for SaaS entrepreneurs with very low budget, right? And when it comes to ads, you'll probably have to pay more than $100 for a single campaign, right? So for business to business, I don't recommend it at all because the only good way for B2B entrepreneurs to actually get successful with ads is to use Google Ads, and they cost a lot. Like I've seen some crazy results, right? Some people pay literally $2 for a single click on their site. That's really messed up. Like they're pretty much scamming out, but for B2C SaaS, I would recommend it to some people that have at least a little bit of a budget, right? It's usually bad because it can be pretty costly still, right? And you're gonna get a lot of bot clicks. So I've heard a lot of stories where some people will get a lot of bot clicks on their ads, which is pretty much wasted money for them. So you should check if your ads platform has a lot of bot clicks. For me, however, I didn't find this issue. I had actually tried this marketing method a year ago and it worked pretty well for me, right? So I customized my ad really well. I was doing Reddit ads so I could target like a single audience, and so I had a cost per click of only 8 cents, which is very low, right? On Facebook ads, it's gonna be more like 60 cents per click, and that's really expensive, right? So for SaaS entrepreneurs, you should really be careful with ads not to spend too much money. However, in very many cases, you'll find that ads aren't even needed, right? There are many other ways to do it, so just keep watching for that. It's now social media marketing, which happens to be my favorite of them all. So for business to business, it's like a 5 out of 10 because it can be really difficult to find your target audience, right? So you'll probably notice that on social media like TikTok and even Twitter sometimes, the audience can be pretty immature. So it can be like teens that are 14 years old, right? Sometimes you don't want these people to even see your ads. However, for B2C, that's the method I recommend the most, right? It's true that the algorithm can be pretty hard to figure out, right? So you may post like 10 videos that will flop completely. You get like 100 views, absolutely useless, like waste of time. But once you actually figure out the algorithm, well, you actually find out that you can achieve like a stability. So back in the days when I was working on this project, I was posting free videos on social media. I actually could post like one video. I didn't even have to put in that much effort into it because I knew how to make the video, and I was pretty much assured to get like 20k views on it. So if you check out my account here, like you'll notice that most of my videos have like around 20k views. Some even have much more. For example, I have like 344k views. It took me some time to actually figure out the algorithm, right? But once I figured it out, I was able to get a lot of views consistently. And that made it really easy for me to kind of maintain or grow my platform, because if you take a look at my account, right, you're gonna notice that this is like the time I posted my first video on the account. Then I posted some more. So and this big spike you see here is actually a few videos combined, right? I remember this exact spike like very well, and I pretty much remember that there was like a weekend where I had a Friday off, so I told myself I'm gonna post as many videos as I can, and I posted like 7 videos in one weekend, which actually caused like a very big spike here. And since then, it keeps on getting quite a lot of views still, right? So you can see it's more or less like 200, 300 users on my site. And that is because if you notice the analytics on TikTok, you're gonna see that my videos, even today, I haven't posted in like 6 months, right? I haven't posted in 6 months, but my videos still get around like 100,000 views every month, and this just keeps on bringing new traffic, right? So if you look at last week, right, you're gonna notice that I do have users. I have a lot of returning users, which is 812, but I actually also have a lot of new users, right? 900 new users that come from the TikTok account, right? Because I don't do any other marketing other than that. I stopped using ads because I realized they're not worth it. And also note that I did this all for absolutely free, right? I only maybe asked some people to make videos for me sometimes, and I had to pay them, but otherwise, I got a lot of users for absolutely free. Social media marketing is really OP, especially in 2024, because social media usage is growing. But also take notes because you really need to understand your target audience well, right? And especially where they hang out. Because, for example, if Mark Lu tried to advertise Ship Fast on TikTok, I think he would have failed miserably. He would have gotten maybe 100 views, if that, and he would have flopped completely. That's because there's not a lot of programmers on TikTok. And that's good that he tried Twitter instead, because unlike TikTok, there's a lot of programmers on Twitter. So next up, we have content marketing, which is pretty much posting blog posts, YouTube videos, LinkedIn posts, right? It's pretty much just writing text that people will be able to find themselves and that hooks their attention and gets users into your app. It's really good for B2B SaaS owners thanks to LinkedIn, because there's a lot of business owners on LinkedIn, and usually if you're doing B2B, that's who you're going to be targeting. And personally, I haven't tried this, but I've seen other people's results. For example, Mark Lu, even Mark Lu actually posted on there for Shipfast, and he's gotten like a lot of followers, like I think 15,000. So that's amazing. And for B2C, it's probably one of the worst methods. But unless your target audience is like more mature, you're probably gonna fail miserably, right? It's probably the worst method because there's much better alternatives like social media marketing, for example. In general, content marketing is better if your ticket price is pretty high. So, for example, if every sale averages around $1,000, well, LinkedIn is probably worth it because this way you're going to be able to reach out to business owners that have the money to buy your product and that are probably interested in it as well. However, if you charge like $5 a month, it's literally pointless to try LinkedIn because your target audience isn't even on there. So, what's the point? And again, there's a possibility that your target audience is actually a more mature, older audience, for example, of business owners, of developers. Then you're going to be able to succeed on LinkedIn. But otherwise, I don't really recommend it. And also, one note is that more is usually better on LinkedIn. So I would recommend you to post as much as you can. And also post as much as you can if you're doing like blogs or YouTube videos, because this is going to mean more reach to your videos or to your content and more reach to your site. So now cold outreach, which by far is probably the worst method out here because for one, it takes a lot of time, right? So if you take a look at most people that do cold outreach, they send like hundreds of DMs a day. So here's a cold DM that someone wrote for a platform called Cameo. And it also happens to be personalized. So that means that the person that wrote this DM actually took a lot of time into it. And they're probably going to be disappointed, right? Because there's a really small chance that they answer. Like I've tried cold outreach, and the chance that they actually respond, hell, even open your DM, is actually really low. So like, prepare to be disappointed. Like you could literally send 100 DMs, right? This takes hours for you to do, by the way. Because if you actually want to make them personalized, well, you're gonna have to analyze the person's account and know them. So obviously it's gonna take you a lot of time to actually write the DM. You're gonna write hundreds of these. And there's a really high chance you don't even get a single result from it. So it takes a lot of time, and it's also some really tough work because just imagining the whole day, what you do is just open some accounts, write the DM or copy paste the DM. It's still like a few buttons, right, to click. It's not that easy. And then you send it, and then you just don't see results after hours of your work. So while it's okay for business to business because the ticket price is pretty high, B2C, don't even try it. I don't recommend that. What you can do, however, and what I've done personally is that I've turned my business to client app into a B2B app. So I had an app to basically make AI short form videos, and it was like $10 for 10 videos. So it's pretty low. But the thing is that it wasn't like a personalized video, right? People could add their own fonts, but it wasn't really that easy for them. So instead, I reached out to some YouTube channel owners and asked them if they wanted to use my app that I would have personalized for them and made it really easy for them to fit their own style of content. So in conclusion, the key to all SaaS marketing is to understand your target audience. I can't say this enough times, right? If you don't have a target audience, or if you can't understand your target audience, you're not gonna succeed, right? When I was developing Peripheron, which is my SaaS to make maps, I had to do months of research for it. And I had to understand my target audience. I had to comment on some videos. I had to get a little bit of hate. And then that's what caused me to understand them so well that I could post every video and it would almost go viral, right? 20,000 views, still quite a lot. So for B2B, content marketing and cold outreach are king. I would suggest you try both at once, right? Because sometimes content marketing is not going to be enough right away. But if you try cold outreach, you send like 1,000 DMs, and then you try content marketing, you should be actually off to a pretty good start. And for B2C, social media is definitely king. And directories like Product Hunt are 7 out of 10 because it's free, so it doesn't really hurt you to try. If you get a badge, that's even better. It motivates you to work harder next time, so that's amazing. I'm gonna be making in detail guides for the marketing techniques soon, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for that.